So this new gear gonna gives you 7 stamina per piece plus 8% on agility weapon damage. That's gonna make the archer meta too OP. Hello everyone, my name is Hossein, but you can call me Darkcat. In this new video, we're gonna talk about the new meta after chapter 3 update and these new armors and stuff that came into the game. So we're gonna cover this OP archer build that most of the people using, and they trying to one-shot or two-shot other players. So make sure you watch the video till the end so you realize how to build, what is the attributes, what is the armor, weapon, gear, bows and arrows. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you put a like on the video, it will help me a lot. So let's jump into the video very quick. So for the start, we're gonna talk about the gear set, what combination of the gear we're using, then we're gonna go to the next. So for the gear set, we're gonna use the ranger armor. That's the newest gear. It's the new hidden gear they bring into the game, and each piece gives you 7 stamina and 8% on agility weapon damage. These two attributes is the best for archer build. Why? Because what is the most skills you need, what is the most attributes you need for archer build is gonna be stamina and agility weapon damage, and this gear set gives you these both benefits in each piece. We're gonna use all sets of the ranger gear, but for the pants and boots we can see that we have better options. Actually, you can use the full ranger armor, but I'm not recommending that in this video. I'm recommending to switch the pants with the new kurak legging that gives you 32 stamina. This is quite OP and like strong. Why you need to get 32 plus stamina as one gear piece, and it's also giving you 10% on follower damage. Maybe you don't need this so much, but this 32 stamina gonna be very good. And for the boots, you also can switch it with spider climbing boots, that it's gonna be super OP because it gives you 22 stamina for one piece. It doesn't matter, it have a low amount of armor, like 36 armor is like half of the armor you can get from the Silent Legion boots that gives you 12 stamina, but this gives you 22 stamina. It depends on your play style. If you really need the stamina, you're going aggressive on your building, you do more Brim PvP, you like trying to run, chase people, you need stamina, you always have these two options to replace it with the ranger gear. So if you also ask how to even get this ranger gear, I all have covered up in another dedicated video. If you want to check that, you can check it up here, that I already explained everything about this gear set. So now we're going to talk about the kits we're going to put onto this gear set. So as you can see, this gear says that medium armor. So why it says medium armor? This is quite interesting because here it says light and my rolls are quite light. So we need to talk about this. It's kind of a bug that it says it's medium armor. You just combine it with the light gear. You can see this kurak legging is light and this climbing boots is light, so all together it's become light. So make sure you use the bulked plating on this gear because it is a light gear and it's quite bug for the moment that shows it's a medium gear with 438 armor value. Now we're gonna talk about the bows we're gonna use for this build. It's gonna be, of course, make your weapons, make your bows with the damage carpenter. Do not make a mistake. Don't use the other carpenters with hammer or with the armor penetration. It's gonna be useless. I'm gonna recommend 3 bow that is the most OP bows in the Exile land or Sipta land. So we're gonna first rate, of course, Reach of the Red Mother gonna be the number 1 because it have so much damage and so much armor penetration and it's quite hard to get. So after this, if you guys cannot farm the Red Mother so much, you cannot get this bow. So of course the next one gonna be the Void Forge bow, that is a Sipta bow doing ripping damage. It's a lot of damage actually with 40 damage, 20% armor pen. And after that gonna be the Kari bow with 36 damage and 21% armor pen. That's also a good bow, a decent bow and doing a lot of damage in Exile land. That these 3 gonna be the best bows you're gonna use as your archer build. So for the kitting, what kitting we using on the bows? So normally we using the master weapon fitting that you're learning it on the Warmaker. You gotta use the master weapon fitting on the normal bows like Kari and Void Forge bow. You can also use the damage oil or penetration oil on the bows, but I don't recommend that. You can just use the master weapon fitting and be free for like fighting till it breaks. So you can see it have a decent damage, 40 damage, 20% armor pen on Void Forge, and 36 damage, 20% armor pen on the Caribou. But now we're gonna test the reach of Red Mother. I'm gonna use one green oil on Red Mother, one the brown oil on the Red Mother, and one master weapon fitting on the Red Mother. Let's see which one is the best to go for reach of Red Mother. The green oil gonna gives you a lot of damage. You're gonna have 45 damage and 30% armor pen. So for the penetration oil, it's gonna gives you 20% extra armor penetration. It's gonna be 30 damage and 50% armor pen. And for the master weapon fitting, it's gonna be 35 damage and 42% armor pen. I recommend the green oil because green oil gives you the most damage, and more damage gonna be always better option in both. That I'm gonna also test the damage on the like 50% armor pen or 46 damage. Let's see which one gonna do more damage here. So we're gonna test it on this bear. I'm gonna use also black ice arrows that is kind of have a decent damage recently. We're gonna use the green oil on this pig and see how much damage we're gonna do. So we one shot the pig, and then we're gonna use this armor penetration oil, and let's see if we're gonna one shot. So you see it didn't one shot this pig with the penetration. So it's always like that. The green oil is much more better on the reach of Red Mother if you're playing bow with the reach of Red Mother. For the arrows, I'm gonna recommend 3 different arrows to use. The first one gonna be the obsidian arrows. That is kind of hard to get it. You need to go in the volcano forge. You need to smell the steel bar and obsidian to make obsidian bar, and you're gonna come here to craft it. Or you go for the black ice arrow. You're going into the forge in the north. You can make the black ice weapons and arrows there. You just need hardened steel arrows and black ice to make this. Black ice arrows is quite cheap and have 21 damage and 19% armor pen. Is decent arrows and most of the people using it now. And for the last option, if you are really poor and you have nothing to use, you can go of course for star metal arrows. That's decent damage. So after all the gear and weapon and bows and arrows we're gonna talk about the attributes point. What is the best and the most OP build for this new archer build that I'm also using it on the private server I'm playing. So we're gonna go 20 agility, 20 vitality, 10 strength and 10 grit. Why we are going this? Because the strength, we're gonna need the special attack deal 10% more damage, and the equip armor weight 25% less, because we always have the weight problem when we are going archer build. The next gonna be the agility. Agility is the main damage on the archer build. Of course, you're gonna need all this perk. For the first perk, you're going dead shot, and for the last perk, you're going rolling thrust. And it's depend on you. If you are like moving through the rocks, you want to go on the buildings rocks to shoot from top, you can always switch the rolling thrust with the double jump, depend on your play style. The vitality, the first perk gonna be the fast healer for the extra 50% healing. That's gonna help you a lot to heal as an archer because everyone focusing you. So for the last perk, between last stand and the punishment, most of the people don't know which one to choose. It's quite simple. I'm gonna explain it now. For the Brim PvP, open PvP and all kind of this stuff, you go for the punishment for healing you faster when you're fighting, and for raiding and defending, of course, you're going for the last stand to survive more. And for the grid, why we choose grid? Because grid is very important for archer build these days. The first perk gonna gives you 40 armor and 20 more stamina, and the first perk gonna be the 25% faster stamina regeneration. That can help you a lot for shooting and rolling and doing all kind of those OP archer stuff. So this was the attribute. We're going for the archer build. You can see that we have around 731 HP and 256 stamina. This is quite OP. And the last thing that we need to explain gonna be the buffs we're using for this archer build. I'm gonna drop everything I have so we can see the weight of what we carrying. So you're gonna have only 1 stack of the arrow, 1 bow, like 1 stack of food, 2 stack of healing, and 1 stack of antidotes. That is gonna be on the yellow. You can see I'm already in yellow. So you're gonna need to use 1 encumbrance potion with combination of agility weapon damage as a food. So I have one carry capacity potion buff and I have one agility weapon damage buff. So this combination gonna be good, but it depends on you. If you are not carrying more stuff, you can use both perks, agility weapon damage. You can use also extra of agility weapon damage and go plus 30% more agility damage. So this was the new OP archer build these days. You guys can use it. It's quite nice, and later I'm gonna also use it on some archer montage and upload it in the channel so you can watch and see how this build gonna work. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you all in the next video.